Hey, how what's up, you guys? Yes, it's me again. I came up to my YouTube video because it's the next day, right? And then today I want to talk about something in English again so that I could post this video to my YouTube channel. Yes, this is my everyday thing that now, I've got to do this, I have no choice but to do this. So that is the reason why I'm speaking in front of the camera again today, right? And then let me talk about something that it might interest you. I'm hoping so. Well, anyway, yes, today I want to talk about something that one of the craziest idea that I had, and because I've been on the previous video that I've been talking about very crazy, weird idea of how I try to learn English, right? And today I think that this is the craziest idea because I've never seen or heard anyone who is talking about this kind of thing. And then yes, I think that's very crazy and then it's weird. And then I'm hope that some more people think that, oh, this guy is very crazy, and maybe I should watch his video or something. Please don't just listen to me, what I have to say, even though this is a very craziest idea. And as I said, I think that no one, I've seen no one, I've heard no one, talking about this same kind of thing, right? So the idea, this craziest idea of learning English of mine is that this is all my life. This is the biggest base idea of how to learn English for me. But I've been trying to learn English unconsciously. Yes, I've been trying to learn English unconsciously. See, this is crazy, right? Because I at the same time that you just you guys just don't understand what I'm talking about. So let me explain what I mean by that. I've been trying to learn English unconsciously, right? So yes, when I was young, when I was trying to learn English, the first time in my life trying to learn English, I was doing, at the very beginning, I was doing like the other people or English learners you doing, trying to learn, trying to remember English words, trying to remember English phrases, and then remember things, and trying to learn English grammar and stuff. But the problems I had was it just doesn't work out for me, and I just can't keep on doing those kind of stuff. And at the same time, there was another problem, right? Because as I mentioned on the previous video, that I was very, very shy boy, shy guy, and then if I try to, as I keep on trying to memorize these words, and then I got more nervous when I tried to speak up, because as I try harder to memorize English words while trying to learn English, and then when if I do that, as I do more, I get more nervous when I try to speak actually, because every time if I try to speak in English, those kind of the thing that I try to learn English, I was like English English words or English grammars just came to my mind and occupy my mind, and then once it happens, I just think too much, and then I got nervous, because I'm shy, and I'm kind of guy that who can get easily got nervous, and then once I got nervous, I just can't speak. I just think too much in my head. I just can't speak, and a lot of times if I try to speak in English, a lot of time I just freeze up. I just couldn't say anything. And then if I try harder, as I try harder, the problem is getting bigger. Every time I try to say something, I just can't. I just couldn't say anything. So because of that, I thought, oh, maybe I should come up with something that maybe something that crazy idea or something, because a lot of time that at that time I thought maybe extraordinary result, sometimes was, caused by that extraordinary idea, right? Extraordinary idea can sometimes yield that yield the extraordinary results. So I thought that maybe yes, maybe I should come up with the craziest idea, and then I thought, yes, because I was thinking, what is going on in my brain while I'm speaking in Japanese, which is mother language, right? And then I realized that when I'm speaking in Japanese, most of the time, especially like in a daily conversation, I realized that I'm not thinking anything in my head. It's just kind of like an automatic thing. If I want to say something, just English, a Japanese words, phrases just comes out, right? And it's kind of like water fountain, keep coming, that English, Japanese sentences just keep coming out, popping out in my head. I just speaking, almost automatically, right? So I thought that maybe yes, I then realized, when I speak in Japanese, that is my mother language, I was speaking unconsciously, right? So I thought that yes, if I can do this with English, I don't have to think anything. I don't have to get nervous. I don't have to think too much in my head, because I can speak in English unconsciously, right? Like I was doing with the Japanese language. So I thought, yes, this is an idea. I know this is something that I should do. And then if I don't have to think anything, I never get nervous or anything, right? I never think too much in my head. So that was the idea, that I came up with, at that time. And since then, I'm kind of trying to, make my brain do the same thing, speak in English unconsciously like I do with my mother language in Japanese. And then, yes, it sounds very crazy, but I was dead serious about this, theory, and then I just, from then on, I think that this is the idea that I came up with when I was 19 years old. Since then, all the time, all my life, my basic strategy or basic idea of learning English is this, trying to be able to speak in English unconsciously, right? So because I was trying to be able to speak unconsciously, then I was thinking, always trying to learn English unconsciously instead of trying to real hard to remember or memorize. So that's the reason why I mentioned on the earlier video that I try to forget English words or phrases. Instead, I never actually try to learn it. Instead, I spend so many hours just listening to English, so that at the same time, even though I'm listening to English for a long time, still I never try to learn anything, from trying to learn the language. Instead, I'm trying to kind of like enjoy listening to English. Or for example, like watch a movie, I'm always trying to enjoy that content, and at the same time, I'm kind of trying to let my brain to absorb some kind of information, from that audio, or English, what I mean is that, instead try real hard to remember or learn something from the audio, while I'm listening to, of course, English. I just kind of trying to, I don't know which word I just explained that this feeling, but yes, anyway, I just stop in trying to learn anything. I just stop trying to remember anything. I'm talking about the English language. Instead, I kind of like trying to feel the English, trying to kind of kind of let my brain to understand something, feel something instead of just logically understand the word. But I try to get a feeling. It's yeah, yes, I would say I try to learn something unconsciously. So yeah, that's the reason why I just again, that's the reason why I try to just stop trying to learn English. Like I try to memorize or try to remember. Instead, I try to forget it. Instead, I just keep on listening so many hours so that my brain can learn something, unconsciously instead of consciously, logically, trying to understand it. But I just, let my brain do my job. Like I learned. I think this is same thing as like learn in Japanese when I was very little. As I get older, maybe that I will try to understand Japanese language, logically. But at the very beginning, I think I never, try to remember something, right? Just before I knew it, I learned something, right? So yes, that's the idea. I try to learn English. Before I knew that I learned something, unconsciously. That's the basic idea of trying to learn English, right? Yes. So, yes, this is something that for me it's very hard to explain. What I mean. It's very difficult to explain because one of the reasons is that because as I said, I've never heard anyone speaking like this kind of theory. So I think it's a part of the reason why I cannot explain very well. But this is my basic idea, and this is my base. This is my biggest idea, or very most important part of my strategy how to learn English. And then this is something that a lot of people think that this is crazy idea. And then I have no guarantee that this is gonna work for you. But in my case, since I started thinking this way, trying to learn English unconsciously and trying to speak in English unconsciously, everything changed for me. So yes, I don't think that this is something that one size fits all kind of strategy. This is very very different from other strategies. So I just can't guarantee you if you try to do the same and it's gonna work for you. But at least for me, this is my best way. And then I just wanted to share my idea of learning English. Because I think that there are people like I did, struggling to learn English, and then yes, I'm just sharing my idea, and it might be, if you watch my video, and you might think that you might come up with your own idea that would work best for you. So yes, I just wanna share my thoughts and share my way of learning English, and then yes, that's it. I'm not gonna push this. I'm not gonna say that this is the best method or anything, because it's work for me, but it doesn't mean that it work for everybody. So yes, I just wanna talk about this because as I said, yes, I am so weird. So yes, it's okay. I'm a crazy guy, but yes. At the same time, I maybe that most of the people who is watching YouTube video is also the English learner, or are also the English learners, right? So I am an English learner myself. So as like as a friend, or as buddies, that English learning buddies, and just I wanna share my idea. That's all. Yes. Well, okay, thank you very much for watching my YouTube video again, and I'm gonna see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.